cultural. I was born in Finland, and I started drawing very, very early as a entertainment because I was youngest out of 4 kids, and the boys didn't want to have anything to do with me. So around 6, 7, I was in my early 20s when I went to Maryland Institute College of Fine Arts, as it was called then, MICA nowadays. I had a career as a medical illustrator for about 15 years and ran a art supply store for 4 or 5 years. So it was roughly about 20 years later when I started teaching art. My favorite subject to teach is something about nature. So any kind of drawing or painting that involves actually the real natural world is my favorite. ISIM is kind of a challenge for the students because they should read about different art styles and then zone in into one of them and hopefully try to really figure out the different characteristics involved. This piece is done with post-impressionism style, and instead of having it involves natural wildflowers and a skull of an animal. Instead of being really sharp and photorealistic image, the artist chose to put it in a setting where it looks almost like it's cut in half. Her impressionism about the setup. And the skull is not photogenic exactly, it's a little bit muted colors and softened lines, same as the grass that's used in the front of it. You are left in an image of softness and the feeling of the viewer, how they looked at the nature. A post-impressionist had no common artistic goal, so it was really left with the individuals how they viewed things, and they always painted from observation, so they didn't sit and plan long time, but things were painted on how they felt about what they looked at.
Thank you.
Yep.
There you go.
This is a good example of surrealism. This is our year-end final for all the studio art students. When you focus on it, you see there's a very realistic scene of underwater swimmers and stuff, but suddenly they go up to the surface. Next to them there's an underwater cave, which doesn't have anything to do with this area here. And when we move to the vegetation here, it's even in a different perspective than things in this picture here. So it's kind of cool way to depict stories and history and things like that instead of having to be totally realistic.